this march is not only happening in Johannesburg, the DA is also marching on ANC offices in Cape Town, and that's where we find senior reporter Ayesha Ismail. Ayesha, I understand that ANC Youth League members are also protecting ANC offices there. What's happening? All right, it looks like Ayesha Ismail isn't able to hear us, but of course you saw those visuals, and I'm just going to ask the team if they could just give you both those visuals very quickly for us. We've got that's in Cape Town, the Democratic Alliance in that province, led by its leader in that province, Alan Winde, marching on ANC offices in Cape Town. They're blaming the governing party on load shedding. They're saying it's their fault that the country finds itself where it is today. And on the other side in Johannesburg, those are visuals coming from Pule Lichwiti Jones. That's my other colleague covering for you the other leg of the same march by the Democratic Alliance at Luthuli House. The leaders of the ANC Youth League NYTT had to then step in because it looked like it was going to become violent. I understand that my colleague Ayesha Ismail is able to hear us now. Ayesha, just give us an update on what you're seeing there. We did make out that there was a bit of a scuffle even that side.
I'm not sure if you're able to hear me now, but we saw the ANC on the one side of Adley Street, and then of course we saw the Democratic Alliance marching on the other side of Adley Street. But I'm now joined by Cameron Dugmore, who is now going to explain to us exactly what it is that the ANC is wanting from the DA today. Cameron, we understand that you have the ANC Youth League protecting the offices of the ANC. Why won't you allow the DA to come and march to your offices?
Well, thanks very much. I think the first thing, and maybe I'll ask one of the comrades here, have you interviewed the Youth League? Because I think we should have the Youth League to come here as well. But we, from the ANC Interim Provincial Committee, we are here to support the Youth League. And our understanding as one of the Youth League members right here from the national team is that, like the ANC, the Youth League believes that this march is misplaced. You can see the posters of the DA are more about the 2024 elections. They know that the energy problem is not just an ESCOM problem, it's a problem of the national government. It's also important that provinces and city get together. But the basic message from the Youth League that we support, and I think you should speak for yourself, is that we need to defend the ANC House. It's unprecedented. Imagine if the EFF started marching to the DA or the ANC started marching to the ACDP. Go where the problem is in terms of what you think. And we are so surprised because this is the first DA march I ever see. Did they ever march against evictions on the farms? Did they ever march to show support for the minimum wage? Did they ever march about the fact that only 3% of agricultural land in our province is owned by coloured and African people? So this is very clearly an opportunistic belief, and we want to salute the Youth League for taking this initiative and for defending the ANC offices here in Constitution House, and we want to commend the Youth League. But why don't you ask one of the Youth League members here?
Hi, good afternoon. Insaf Ayana Isaacs, a member of the National Youth League or the national membership of the ANC Youth League. I think it's quite prudent to call out the political tomfoolery at play here. There are state entities and parastatals that are managed in a particular manner, and that knowledge is not unknown or unfamiliar to the Democratic Alliance. This is a call for all peace-loving people in South Africa to restore dignified living conditions through fair and equitable access to electricity. The ANC Youth League has called for a review of NERSA, I think it's called, so that the impartiality that they ought to be demonstrating is actually genuine. In February last year, there was a pronouncement of a 9 or something% increase in electricity prices. Now the same supposedly impartial monitor of electricity prices is introducing price hikes on inflated prices already. The ANC Youth League recognizes that this is playing with the future of an economy, and most importantly, the survival of the working class and the vulnerable of this country. And we are saying not in our name. We are calling on every comrade and every rational person in the various structures of our legislature to hold parastatals to account, to ensure that the people who are going to be appointed are capable, are competent, and most importantly willing to turn around the crisis that could have been avoided, that is ESCOM today. Thank you very much.
Why will you not allow the Democratic Alliance to march to your offices?
Well, I think there's a political decorum that is absent from this engagement, and that's at the very least notifying an office that there's an intent to share and engage around issues that are agreeable and some that are disagreeable. And to the best of our knowledge, that hasn't yet happened, which is quite disappointing considering the alleged sophistication that the DA postures itself with all the time. So we look forward to engaging in terms of resolving the pending issues, ensuring that especially where social housing and informal settlements exist, that those spaces are safe, that they are functional, and that they are sustainable. And we are not shaken by this political tomfoolery being demonstrated, led by the Democratic Alliance today.
Thank you so much for your time. And that was a representative from the ANC Youth League here in Adley Street, outside of the provincial office of the African National Congress. We just want to turn around quickly to see what's happening to the Democratic Alliance. They are meant to make a U-turn into Adley Street to come to the ANC offices. I'm just going to ask my colleague just to turn around to see what is happening with the Democratic Alliance, whether the police will allow them to come into this part of Adley Street, or whether they're going to be making a U-turn to prevent any kind of conflict between the ANC Youth League and the Democratic Alliance. And as you can see, there are lots of police officers blocking the way over there. And it would appear as if the DA has made a decision not to come to Constitution House, where the ANC has its provincial office.
Senior reporter Ayesha Ismail live for us in Cape Town.